Welcome back to the Flower Gold Wizard channel. Today I want to start off briefly. One of my commenters suggested I give a little soliloquy, if you will, about how I got into prospecting. Well, I'll tell you. As maybe many of you have, or some of you, I was watching shows like Gold Rush and Aussie Gold Hunters, Bering Sea Gold, and it kind of sparked a little bit of curiosity, and I guess I just have one of those personalities where, I can do that. Well, I'm trying, and I'm doing it a little bit. So that's kind of how I got my start. Do I still watch those programs? Not really. I don't watch a whole lot of TV anymore. A little bit of Bering Sea Gold. I do still like that program, but that other one there, that Gold Rush, those guys seem like heavy equipment operators more than anything else, and when they, they're cutting a commercial break every time Parker drops his salad fork, it's a big season ender. Rick, get over here right away. Well, I got sick of watching that, so I'm out here in the field doing it, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing today. All right, I'm starting off in your run-of-the-mill gravel pit glacial till deposit in Wisconsin. This particular pit I've been down to before, made a couple of videos down here, and I pointed a few things out that I never did actually get back to do, and today I'm here to do it. As you can see, here's my truck parked up here on this hill, and this is it's a pretty steep hill, and it's all glacial till, and the county come back here, and they've been taking gravel out of here to fix the roads and whatnot. And I don't think they do a whole lot in this section anymore, so it's just kind of been laying here, and the rain and the weather has just been kind of beating on it. But this is just what you want to look for right here. If you're going to go messing around in glacial till, well, Mother Nature's already doing you a favor. There's a big steep hill here, and all this material here is getting washed down the hill this way here. I mean, as you know, gold floats, and raindrops are hitting it, and you're getting quite some gushes, little gullies of water here. Well, them raindrops are hitting little pieces of gold here and there, if there are any, and it's floating. It's going to cause that to float, and it's going to, after eons or, however long, sooner or later, there's going to be some gold accumulated down at the bottom of this hill. And as you pan around, here's another one right here, and it's chewing out a nice section of this gravel pit, and it's all headed down to the same area. And you can see some of the washes kind of winding up down here. And right here, there's a crest, or a trough, I guess you would call it. And then it goes, that's darn near straight up right there. And all this stuff here is kind of sloughing down this way. And it all meets right here, right there. And I've been down here before, and I made note of this rock right here. I found this rock, I don't know, last spring, I guess, over a year ago. And I took a bunch of material off the top of it, and it's all clay. It was all clay up on top of there, and there was gold stuck to it. And you can kind of see where I dug out there a little bit. Well, today I'm back. I brought some tools with me. I brought Mercedes, my hooker tool, and I bought a new dig tool, a little pick with a shovel end on it, and I'm going to get a bunch of clay material off around this rock, because there was gold stuck to the other one there on the very top, and I want to see what's around more of the edges of this thing. This is a huge boulder right here. Give you a little size reference. I mean, there's going to be a lot of digging involved, so I'm going to grab a few pails of this stuff here. And there's no water around here anyway, and I'm going to head up to a creek not far from here that I've done some videos at, and we're going to see if there's anything in here. So let me get my stuff rolling. Look at that crazy dog up there. And we'll pick this back up when I get to digging. Back in a bit. All right, I've got a couple of tools down here. For those of you who don't know, that's Mercedes, my hooker. And I got my new tool down here. It looks like a pick shovel, pickaxe, whatever you want to call it. Got a nice little, it's heavy. It digs right into that gravel really nicely, and it penetrates in between those rocks versus using, say, a spade shovel. This is going to work quite a bit better for this glacial material and all these rocks. At least get them loose, and I can move them, you know, with this here or a regular shovel once I get them into a little pile. But this stuff, this is going to work real well. Well, we're making some progress here, but I have come across some things that I wanted to take a little TV time out and a breather and show you, because I think they're really important and interesting. One. Okay, I dug a small trench here. It's about hand width, right from that rock back down towards the bottom of the hill here. And I want you to see the transition in the material here. All right, now here's the rock itself, right there. And in between, right up against that rock, is this hard, heavy clay. And there's some gravel and stuff mixed in with it. And as you go down the shape of the rock, it seems to be about 3 inches thick or so, maybe 4, of clay that's touching that rock, that's going down the body of the rock here. And it's so far it's been doing that all the way around. And let me show you, as you get away from the rock, this is turning into sand again. See that? What that rock is doing is it's acting like a big piece of bedrock. The rain's hitting it, and it's just falling down on the sides, and any silt or, you know, anything coming in from the hillsides and whatever is hitting the top of that rock and going down with the water and forming clay. Now, any gold that was here prior to, say, rainfalls and whatever, or you know, stuff being washed out down here from the hill itself is going to hit this rock and get stuck on this clay. And as we work our way around some of the material that I pulled off of this rock, look at this piece here. Now that's a layer of clay with roots and grass roots and whatever growing throughout it. Now you talk about a natural gold trap. That's a nice thick layer of clay right there. Real nice and thick and sticky. And there is material mixed in with it, and them grass roots, that's going to be a really good specimen right there, piece. So I'm throwing that right in that pail. And let me bring you around this side over here one time quick. You know, it's all clay coming around this way, and that rock is starting to come off this way a little bit. It's going to be a big one. And on this side here, I'm pulling up clay like this. Now this stuff, it's a little bit darker and just a little bit harder. And there's some really nice material mixed in with it, if you can see that as I break that up. I'm excited about this stuff here. And it's a little tough going. That clay's got those rocks bunched up pretty tight together, but we're managing. And another thing I wanted to show you quickly, I don't know if it's gold or not. I'm gonna scrape up some of this stuff separate and throw it in a pan and check, but it doesn't turn shades when I move around, you know, like say mica wood or something. It stays gold colored. So let me see if I can get the camera zoomed in on some of this stuff here. Like right there. See that? On the face of that rock? That's some pretty gold colored material, and it's and right in this here area, this whole area right here has got a whole bunch of that stuff. Let me see if I can get, it helps if I use my finger there. See them pieces there? They don't turn shades when you get in a different angle like that. You know what I'm talking about, like how mica does when you turn a corner or something, it turns dark. Well, this stuff's not doing that, and it's all over on here. Right underneath that clay I scraped off. So I'm going to take a little sample of that stuff, and you know, and it very well could be it. I mean, maybe I'm just excited, but we're going to find out one way or the other. So we're going to get back to digging and fill these pails. Back in a bit. Well, I couldn't wait. I went and panned out a small amount of that stuff, and it turned out not to be gold. But that's okay. I'm pretty sure we're going to find some pieces in all this clay stuff we're digging up here. I mean, if that would have been gold, it would have been the spot in Wisconsin, because that was a lot of, I'm assuming, mica. So, my bad, whatever. So I'm still having some fun here. Got a little bit of a sweat going, and there's lots and lots of gnats. You know, they're crunchy, you know, but they do bug you a little bit. So I'm going to get back after it, and let's get down to that creek and run some of this material over my sluice, which, by the way, I got rid of that carpet and that expanded metal. I put some sawtooth mat in there, and we're going to test it out. Down to my favorite little creek, and I'm really close to the trucks right up in there. Got the boy here, big rig. A little bag of goodies. I brought one of those pails down here. Now I got my little sluice set up here ready, and I just started feeding them in there. You know, I'm just gonna, small little handfuls like this stuff here. If I add water to that pail, that's gonna turn into one great big huge clump of hardened clay, and that is the last thing I want to do. Right now I'm just kind of testing the sawtooth mat I installed in here. I got rid of that carpet and the expanded metal, and we'll run one of these through there and see what we got going on. Hopefully that clay is busting up in there. It looks to be, mostly sand left over and whatnot. So let's run one of these through there. See what we get. Back in a bit. Well, I did a clean out, and it caught there's some black sand in that clay there, and you're running the mill, little wash sand and whatnot, and there are a couple of small pieces of gold. I mean, there's a little guy right there, and get up here a little bit. There's actually a bigger one right there. I'll take that all day long. That's a nice little piece. And that was, I don't know, the better half of a 5-gallon pail of that clay. So, is it spectacular? Nope. Is it gold? Yep. I could probably do better down here in this creek. I mean, I've done a couple of videos upstream here a little bit further, and we've done pretty well. And would I trade it? Absolutely, I would. But there is gold to be had there. That's 100%, and that's proven. I got a couple of pails left in the truck. I'll probably mash down and turn that all into sand, so it's easier to take care of, and I'll save the rest of that for winter. Who knows? Maybe there's a surprise in there. Maybe there's not. But I think what we're going to do for the rest of the day today, I'm going to grab my number 8 screen there. I got my cat box. I'm going to set my sluice back up right there, and I'm going to go down behind that little island right over there. Yeah, let me take a little gander. This little island right here, the creek's kind of coming right in a straight line and smashing right head on into this here little island. And it's almost right in half. Half creek goes that way, the other half goes that way. And right behind it, there's some slack water, a little bit of tree roots and whatnot, making kind of a little dam. And on the back side of that, there's a nice little dead water area back there. There's actually a few of these little islands kind of scattered about up and down this creek. So I'm gonna go right behind in there and take a sample pail just to make sure that sawtooth mat is gonna feed as fast as I think it's gonna, better than that carpet and metal. So, and another thing to note, if you'll notice here, oh, what a nice day. I can see right in the water. Beautiful. You'll notice here how big the cobbles are right in this stretch here where there's a little bit more current. And then as you get up the bank a little bit, you see how that transitions into nothing but, I mean, talk about a perfect example. Light material up there. You see these bigger cobbles, and all of a sudden just picture perfect. Turns into smaller stuff and then into sand. and then into the really light wash muck silt. I mean, you couldn't draw it better than this. So let me get a sample and we'll run one through the sluice before we have to leave. Back in a bit. Look what I just pulled up here. What a specimen this is. Look at the big slabs of pyrite in there, or whatever that is. Look at that. Let me get out of the sun there a little bit. Look at how shiny and golden looking that stuff is. This is quite the rock here. Big chunk of, well, I don't know, quartz, or it's something. Look at that. It's definitely got some quartz in there, and it's all kinds of cavities gotten worked out of it. I'm taking that baby home with me. Look at that thing. That is pretty. Ooh, that's coming home with me. Yeah, I'll give you another little peek at some of the interesting stuff coming out of this hole right here. Look at that. You talk about some mineralized material. That's it. Look at how gold and shiny that stuff is. That is something. And there's lots and lots of it. Look at that stuff coming up and out of there. That is really something. Some kind of, I don't know if that's quartz or chert or whatever the heck they call it. But there is just tons of that stuff coming out of this hole. All right, I do believe we're set. Appears to have a nice little V in it. And it might be a little too far back this way. But I think for all intents and purposes, to test out the sawtooth with this much water flow and little pitch, we're going to be doing just fine. And we did catch gold. I think it was set up pretty similar to last time. So let's see what happens when we run this. That looks like some pretty promising material. Alrighty. Here's the gold that I got out of my new sawtooth mat in my sluice from 1/2 pail out of your, I don't know, random spot, I would guess. And there are some pieces in there. And I got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 pieces or so scattered about in there. You know, that's not the worst. That's actually pretty consistent for what's been found in this particular creek. So my back is killing me, nailing down in that god darn gravel pit and digging all that clay and hauling and scrapping and finding. So I'm gonna pack all my stuff up and head her home and call this one a win. I mean, are those giant gold nuggets? Nope. But for 1/2 pail, that's pretty good for me. I'm gonna come down here, maybe even tomorrow, and I'm gonna really run some material. It's a pretty good test. That sawtooth is quite a bit easier to clean out than that carpet and expanded metal. I mean, a couple little splashes and this stuff it's done. I got that deep V up on top and I siliconed some sawtooth in here and it works great. I couldn't be happier, and it is catching that little tiny baby gold right there. I'm not sure what pitch I was at, but it was working. So all in all, it's a win. Back in a bit. We made it back to the shop. First things first, going into my rad fridge. Gonna grab me a cold brewski out of my rad fridge. No, we didn't get to look at a whole lot of gold today. But I did get a little something in the mail from Chris Dyer at Dyer Gold Prospecting. There's his address. There's my address. I went ahead and panned all that stuff down, and he sent that in this here little container. It says, no tell 'em Sreek. No tell 'em Sreek. Pay dirt. I assume he means crick. It's K-R-I-K. Let's get it right, America. I went ahead and panned that stuff down, and you want to see some gold? I'll show you some gold. Look at here. There's quite a bit of gold in that stuff he sent me. That's out of his dredge for a couple hours. And there's some bigger flakes too. I got peeled off to the side. Let me give you a little picture of them. And that is some beautiful gold. Some nice big flakes I don't get around here. I got some big plans coming up probably for this next season. Come down and give you a visit. He's a PBR drinker too, and me and him are gonna have a nice cold beer together sometime. And another channel you should go check out is Tom's Gold Pay Dirt. That guy there, he's mostly does reviews, and he's selling pay dirt, obviously. But he does get out in the field, and he's got some nice spots. I mean, he's got some good prospecting videos as well. So a couple channels I'll leave links to in the description below. Go ahead and check them guys out. So we had a good time today. We checked out the gravel pit, and we got some testing done of that sawtooth mat, and my sluice worked great. Couldn't be happier. So I think we're going to go with that for a little while, and hopefully we can get up to the beach sometime soon. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe, and do leave that comment. Flower Gold Wizards out.